Okay, so day 2. Let's talk about no excuses. Amazing book, totally recommend it. You can see I've got 1,000,001 notes here. And I've read this book a bunch of times by Brian Tracy. Cutting excuses it has to be lesson 2 because we cannot move forwards with taking ownership, with building direction in our life, if we keep allowing excuses to rule our life. That can be excuses about whether we have the education we need, whether we have the capabilities we need, whether we're smart enough, whether we have the connections. They are all just excuses. And sure, they might be valid reasons. They might be valid obstacles. But an obstacle doesn't make it an excuse. For example, I could complain about, there's loads of traffic today and it'll take me too long to drive to a shop or something. And if I see that as a completely insurmountable obstacle, an excuse to not go, well, at the end of the day, I will not go to the shop. If I believe that excuse, if I believe in that obstacle as being too big, too insurmountable every day for the rest of my life, I'll never do that task. That's with a pretty trivial example of going to a shop, but some of us think like that every single day, every single month, every single year, for years, about things which we could do that would actually make a massive difference in our lives. Starting a business, writing a book, going back to school, starting a new job, quitting a career. And so long as we keep listening to the rationale for why not, or the excuses for why not, we will never make change. Let's go to the action exercises. Let's see, I did them. Right. Again, did these a couple of days ago. So, what have we got? We've got excuse journal. Think back, write down every excuse that you remember saying to yourself and look at the patterns. So from my side, I was, when I wrote this, I was really, really tired. Still really tired, but I was really tired before and I was overwhelmed. And the things that I wrote about were being too overwhelmed to respond to messages, tiredness, which was causing me to just basically zone out and disconnect. I was ordering takeout food more than usual because I was too tired to cook. And I had some alcoholic drinks. And I mentioned that, I think, in my last video as well. But all of that, the themes in that were about tiredness, about overwhelm, and underlying that, like the kind of lesson that I learned I could take away from it was like, maybe I can improve my structure, I can put some limits on my days, and I can prioritize my tasks better. So let's go on to so what. The goal that I wanted to achieve. By the way, I keep reading the page over there to remind myself of what our exercise was. The goal I wanted to achieve was about writing a book. This is something which I had the crazy idea to do recently, and I notice I've kind of said, I've discounted it in my head. And I was thinking, why have I done that? The reasons why I've said to myself, I think I can't achieve it, are because I don't have the credibility and credentials to be a trusted advisor on any topic. I was thinking about my experience and I was wondering, is my experience deep enough to be an author, to be an authority? And, I could write this book, but it probably won't sell. It might not even be read by most people. And that would be a total waste of time. It would take me a long time as well, and it wouldn't sell. So basically, it wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be worth it, and it would cost me a load of time, maybe even money, to make this book. So, so what? And I wrote next to each of these that was just a story. And from doing this exercise, I realized that actually I don't have so many reasons why I can't do this. There are things I can do about my concerns to, for example, be more credible. I can go and get some credentials, or I can work with someone who has the credentials I admire, or something like that. And and on that basis, I can really remove a lot of the reasons why I unconsciously, subconsciously was avoiding doing this task. And I think it'll go back on the list. With asking a friend, I have not asked a friend recently about where they think I'm making excuses, but I'm going to put that on my list of things to do and follow up with that one. So again, let me know in the comments, how did you find these action exercises? Did you do them? Did you skip any of them? And what do you think about this lesson? Do you think it's also a high priority lesson, or do you disagree? Do you think something else should take top spot? Looking forward to having a conversation around this. Hit me up in the main comments page, and see you for day 3 tomorrow.